Hello and welcome. I'm Wise Old Tree, and this is a review of Dimension 20, Season 15, A Court of Fae and Flowers. Starting with an overview, A Court of Fae and Flowers is a live play D&D series produced by Dropout and released in fall of 2022. It is a 10-episode series, with episodes averaging around 2 hours each. Abria Iyengar returns as the Game Master, and the players for the season are Omar Najim, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Emily Axford, Lou Wilson, Oscar Montoya, and Serena Marie. The setting has the presentation of a period piece focused on high society, except instead of being set in historical England, it's a land of fae and fairies and magic. The players take the role of high-status individuals from varying courts, which are coming together in a unified social event called the Bloom. In A Court of Fae and Flowers, reputation and standing have more value than hit points, and a well-crafted rumor is more deadly than a sword. For my overall impressions, this season has almost no combat, as high society isn't a place for swords and bloodshed. This makes it similar to previous role-play heavy seasons of Dimension 20, like Of Mice and Murder and Shriek Week. This means that there aren't any miniatures or battle sets for this season, but the art effort instead seems to have been put into the phenomenal set design and physical props that appear within and throughout the entirety of the season. Because of the high society setting, a reputation mechanic is used to monitor each player's theoretical standing among other members of the court. The players each go into the season's central event with a character-specific goal in mind, which vary from finding answers to a mystery, to seeking connections and recognition, to courtship and dating. In that way, A Court of Fae and Flowers ends up being a better dating sim than Shriek Week, but it's also a bunch of other things as well. As another comparison, A Court of Fae and Flowers also uses letters, not too dissimilar to Coffin Run, but I like the implementation a lot better here. The players in A Court of Fae and Flowers are composing and reading/performing their own letters as part of high society interplay, which means the letters just become further opportunities for character building and definition. Finally, there's a rumor mechanic this season, which plays into the reputation mechanic, where players can quell, inflame, or even create rumors to protect or bolster themselves, or even as a way to prod other characters or players. The mechanics of the season really do a lot to support the tone and environment that the season is working to achieve, and they end up working really well together. This is Abria's second time GMing a season of Dimension 20, and she does a fabulous job here. It's also Brennan's second time being a player. Brennan's character in Misfits and Magic didn't totally work for me, but I enjoyed his character here, Captain K.P. Hobb, a lot more. Captain Hobb is a military man trying to cut it in high society, which allows Brennan to be appropriately rigid and occasionally goofy to mask an insecurity with the environment. Yet Captain Hobb is also still quite intelligent and insightful when he needs to be. It's a delightful mix of characteristics that's fun to watch play out. But for my character to watch, well, I know I've given a lot of praise to both Emily and Lou in other seasons, and they form an incredible dynamic duo this season. The pair play rich socialite bird cousins because that's just how the season does things. And watching them play off of and play into each other all season long is an absolute delight. But I'll also quickly mention Dimension 20 newcomer Serena Marie playing Gwendolyn Thistletop really stood out for me as well. Unfortunately, in a way that I can't really say without spoiling later events of the season, but the character reveals and evolution are engaging beyond just the surprise novelty. As for a rating, I am going to give Season 15 of Dimension 20, A Court of Fae and Flowers, a 4 out of 5. The players are a delight. Abria does a great job. The season manages being a combat light and RP heavy season well, and the setting has that feeling of something familiar, yet with its own identity and voice. I think the reputation mechanic is a great fit for this season, although I do wish we could have seen a little bit more of the negative end of the reputation spectrum. I also think the setting feels a bit front-loaded by introducing lots of characters and all the different courts early on, but that complexity does level out as the season progresses. Overall, I think the season will appeal to anyone who enjoys high society drama or period piece narratives, albeit for a period that is entirely imaginative. But the season is also just a fun time for anyone wanting a good story, so if you haven't checked it out before, I'd recommend giving it a shot. All right, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and see you next time for Season 16, Never After.